Rico Harbor is now safe from getting goopered by Blooper, but Peach is now in danger from getting kidnapped by Shadow Mario. So in hopes of saving her, we need to head to Pinna Park. Pinna Park is a safe and fun amusement park with no hazards whatsoever. So in this OSHA certified environment, let's look at what you couldn't miss. In pursuit of Shadow Mario, we rush to Pinna Park to chase after him. After we finally catch up to him, it turns out we were lured into a trap. If it weren't obvious by the shell submarine we saw him speed off in, this Bowser mech confirms that Shadow Mario is working with Bowser. In addition, after defeating the mech, we finally learn of Shadow Mario's true identity, Bowser Jr. While this is interesting, the more interesting facet is how Bowser Jr. at such a young age learned the engineering know-how to create Mecha Bowser. Thinking of the knowledge required, Bowser Jr. must have the knowledge of someone who has a PhD or higher, meaning instead of disrespecting him, we should all refer to him with his doctor prefix in mind. The Pinna Park beach is home to many inhabitants, but one can only be described as an invader. The Monty Mole that took over the cannon is an extremely violent mole, constantly firing explosive rounds and bombs at Mario without stopping. While we all know Mario stops Monty, the sad circumstance that comes from the Pianta that was working on the cannon as Monty stole it is shocking. As we know, before we were able to venture into Pinna Park, a Pianta was working on the cannon back in Delfino Isle day in and day out to secure us passage to the park. Luckily for the job on Pinna Park Beach, another Pianta mechanic took every other day, allowing his workload to be more manageable. But unfortunately, our original Plaza Pianta on his working day encountered Monty. Our friend valiantly fought to defend the cannon against Monty Mole, but sadly perished at Monty's claws. This is the first confirmed death we see in Mario Sunshine. Back into the park, we needed to discuss the pirate ship ride and many people's obvious concerns of its safety. The ship seems to have no safe qualities about them, being massive swinging ships with no seats nor handrails, and a very slick deck. While Mario personally is safe on this ride due to flood, how do normal everyday tourists survive? The truth is, while this park is approved by OSHA, the specific branch of OSHA that certified it only did so for Piantas and Nokis. This explains how they expect the ship ride to be safe, with Piantas being naturally buoyant and impact resistant in the cases where they are flung into the water or onto the concrete, and the Nokis having shells to protect themselves from impacts and their inherent water breathing ability in case they fall into the water. While they still offer inflatable hamster balls for tourists, this ride is still not for the faint of heart. The sunflowers are a beautiful entourage to welcome new visitors to the park. However, in episode 4, they come under attack by Snooza Koopas. These creatures evolved with Yoshi camouflage in an attempt to not be bothered, while another one of their biological mechanisms wreaks havoc onto the sunflowers around them. Snooza Koopas are similar to certain breeds of catfish, and can bury themselves in the ground to survive for many months without seeing the sun. They do this by slowing their metabolism and utilizing cutaneous respiration, which is essentially breathing through their skin. The downside to this, however, is they need their skin to constantly stay moist. This fact drained all the moisture from the sunflowers and is the reason Mario is led to exterminate them, but only if the Snooza Koopas chose a different place to hibernate, this altercation could have been avoided. Bonus knowledge for this area: since the water for both the sunflowers and the Snooza Koopas were keeping them hydrated and healthy, this means the oceans in Mario Sunshine are freshwater. The runaway Ferris wheel is a unique level that many decide to skip, utilizing a well-timed jump from the wall right below it. Many do this due to the backside for some being a little tedious and boring. But did you know this is also canonically true? So far we have come across 2 enemy types who have specifically chosen to sleep in or near Pinna Park: the Snooze Koopas and the King Electro Koopa. The Snooze Koopas must have entered the park at first to enjoy its festivities, then after realizing none of the rides were made for them, caused them to hibernate on the beach instead. The Electro Koopas, however, love to climb, and many enjoy climbing around the park. All of them but one, which is the King Electro Koopa. This Electro Koopa, being the king, clearly knows what's what when it comes to climbing obstacles. So much so that after he climbed the back of the Ferris wheel, he was so bored he fell asleep due to this boredom, thus making it canon that the park overall for Koopa specifically is extremely boring. The secret levels, as before, are still conveying Shadow Mario, now Bowser Jr.'s thoughts as his journey of villainy is unfolding. The first of the secret levels is the Beach Cannon secret, with its aesthetic of blocks fading away around Mario, showing how Bowser Jr. feels his advantages against Mario are slowly fading away, making him lose his footing and his villainy. while also foreshadowing his acquisition of Yoshi with the Yoshi-themed blocks. This Yoshi theme continues in the Yoshi Go Round secret, where all of the different colored Yoshi eggs shows Bowser Jr.'s desire to have a Yoshi of his own. Then right after, a massive jumble of random blocks, demonstrating his confusion on why Mario had to take away his Yoshi when he had such a strong desire to ride one of his own. And that is the end of this video. If you enjoyed, do to what know you.